NBA DFS DraftKings FanDuel Daily Fantasy Basketball Picks 12 Ninths/24. Today's top lineups. There's only one game on the slate tonight, but it's a fun one between the Knicks and Raptors, as the major pieces of last year's mid-season trade square off. Unfortunately, Immanuel Quickley is still on the shelf for Toronto, but OG Anunoby and R.J. Barrett are shining brightly for their new teams, and may even guard each other. As you'll see in the article below, the Knicks should be your main focus, as they play one of the tightest rotations in basketball, and it would get even tighter if Karl-Anthony Towns were to sit. If playing mixed multi-entry caps, building multiple iterations with various Toronto players around a Knicks core is the way to run this. This article will provide you with my daily fantasy basketball lineup picks for DraftKings and FanDuel on 12 Ninths/24. Remember to monitor NBA injury news and our awesome NBA injuries report tool, as the slate can completely change before lineups lock at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on FanDuel and DraftKings. Good luck, RotoBallers. Scottie Barnes is the most expensive player on the slate, but it's not without good reason. Since returning from injury, Barnes is averaging 21.8 ppg, 9.1 rpg, and 8.6 apg, while posting a 27.3% usage rate and 39.9% assist rate. In that span, he has 4 games over 58 DK points, and the Knicks are 19th in defensive efficiency this year. Jalen Brunson in an elite play anyway, and would be potentially the best captain on the slate if Karl-Anthony Towns were to miss his second consecutive game tonight. Brunson is quietly putting up NBA MVP caliber numbers. At least he would be if Nikola Jokic didn't exist, and his efficiency is way up from last year. Brunson is outplaying Boston superstar Jason Tatum in almost every stat across the board, and is doing so with a 2% less usage rate. caps/twitter.com/knicksnews/status/1 865 quadrillion 846 trillion 27 billion 11,379,305. Toronto is 23rd in overall defensive efficiency and has allowed the 5th most assists per game this year. The aforementioned Karl-Anthony Towns is in a smash spot tonight as long as he plays. He's currently questionable with right knee patella tendopathy. Toronto has been getting gutted by the center position all season, allowing the 3rd most FPPG to the position along with the 3rd highest FG percent within 6 feet of the rim. KT is averaging a robust 51.0 DKPPG on a 28.3% usage rate. If he's in with no restrictions, he's a strong bet for the highest scorer on the slate. Has there been a more impactful trade for the Knicks than Josh Hart? Think about it. They gave up Cam Reddish and a first-rounder, and then signed him to an incredibly team-friendly contract afterwards. Even with the addition of Karl-Anthony Towns, Hart is averaging 13.9 ppg, 8.7 rpg, and 5.9 apg on 60%/40%/87% shooting. Hart is once again a minutes monster under Coach Thibs, averaging 37.3 mpg, giving him a sky-high floor/ceiling combo. Speaking of minutes, let's take a second to talk about Mikal Bridges. He's leading the league in MPG at 38.2 and is finally starting to get more acclimated into the Knicks offense. In the month of December, Bridges is averaging 22.3 ppg on 55% FG and 41% 3PT, and is a +100. The pace boost suits Bridges' 3 and D style of play as well, and his $7,400 DK price tag is great. Sorry to get old Nick happy on you. I promise my fandom is not getting in the way, but OG Anunoby seems like a borderline must here as well. From a narrative perspective, this is a prime chance to bring OG into Toronto and show the Raptors exactly what they gave up. From a stats perspective, Anunoby is living up to every penny of his new contract so far, with career highs across the board in all offensive categories. In addition, he's still doing what he does as a disruption on the defensive end, with 23 combined steals and blocks, and a plus 64 over the past 5 games. Toronto is 9th in pace and is 4th in turnover rate, so OG can rack 'em up here.